Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What up, doe? And I am the first one to admit when I was wrong, and I am wrong. Monty was dealt to the Houston Texans for guard/center Juice Scruggs, a 4th and a 7th round pick. That is pick 128 and pick 247. Egg on my face. Don't care. You know, Demo clown the post. Jim Jackson, what's up, my brother? I'm feeling good. It is a 4th and a 7th round pick. It is pick 128 and pick 247. So we now have 8 picks in day 3. We do have to nail this draft. The good news is in 377 snaps last season, Juice Scruggs did not allow a sack. So he by default is already better than Graham Glasgow. What's up, Yenzer? Well, we thought letting Williams walk the other year. I do and I don't. I hate it because of what we lost in Monty. Is he irreplaceable? No. Yeah, Scruggs is very injury prone. He had a good year last year, but he has been injury prone. Yeah. No, I don't think Glass is good to go at left guard. I think he's awful at left guard. I feel like a worm on a big fucking hook right now. Yeah, overall, the deal is a good one. We got 2 day 3 picks, not 1. So it is what it is. Let's talk about the draft. The combine coming up. We still don't know who's going to be a free agent. We got another 9 days to find out, or 8 days to find out who's on that. That's awesome, Dwayne Keene. Glad you're having fun with the family. Faith family football. I always say that. Glasgow might be gone to save money. Yeah. Other than the fact we got a oft injured guard. Yeah. Well, Decker came back, so that's awesome. Happy birthday to your son. Yeah. Glasgow's washed. Oh, good. I think overall we got a good deal. Decker did not retire. He returned. So it is what it is. Until we hear anything different, he's on the roster. Yeah, Pierce hasn't been able to stay healthy with the Texans. Woody Marks showed flashes, but he's kind of the same type. So did Logan Jones, the fastest offensive lineman in the draft and probably some of the best footwork. Slaughter had a slip. Coogan had some slips on the one drill. Were they bad? No, but I think it had to do more with playing on turf for the first time for those guys. Oh, 100% we can. I know this. Thank you, Foster. Foster has the BCP podcast. And no, it isn't Butt Tip Padawan. That's Bears Country podcast. I got to say that because we have a guy that's called BCP on our show, Foster. And he is the Butt Chin Padawan. He's in the chat. Right now, I think we're standing pat until we see who goes in front of us. I think and we'll trade back if anything. See, there he is, the BCP himself. I don't know if you saw, but I posted a bunch of my draft profiles for the Jags and Bucks, and I've posted all the ones I've done about the Lions so far. Very thankful for everybody I write for. No, you didn't see how bad Aaron Jones was last year? They did the right thing by signing Jordan Mason. They're probably drafting Jones' replacement. They're cutting him. I want nothing to do with him. I would rather draft a replacement. Don't forget, we got Sailors on this roster who did okay. He averaged about the same yards per carry behind this porous O line that Monty did. He just wasn't used enough. So I'm not saying he's the replacement, but we do have people that can run on this. And when Vaki actually ran good in college, when he was a running back, we just haven't seen it in the NFL. I think he's just better on special teams. Hey, I know he is. Hey, but it's year 3 this year. Remember, don't call somebody a year 3 bust. Yes, Lorenzo Styles probably is one of the safeties that moved up, as well as Bud Clark. That's what I thought. Aaron Jones is not available a lot anymore. So let's go through this. I think the guy that helped, I hate saying it, the guy that helped his case the most in this draft is probably Cole Payton out of North Dakota State by running a 4.56 and looking good throwing. The other guy that did was Talon Green, who ran a 4.36, the fastest quarterback in the combine. He moved up. The guys that probably hurt their draft stock. Oh, let's see. Diego Pavia and Joe Fanano of Connecticut. God, he was awful. Smoking Dad. That's right. The music's back. Smoking Dad is back. It's all good. It sucks being wrong. We traded away Monty for guard center Juice Scruggs, a 4th and a 7th round pick from Houston. Overall, it seems like we got good value because getting 2 picks and a player for a player, when I guess Jeremy Fowler was right. He must have heard that from out of our camp because we know Monty didn't say it because he clowned the post. But again, the guys that hurt their stuff was Diego Pavia I think Baron Morton not doing anything in this probably hurt his draft stock some too. Robert Sawyer was another one that didn't run as good as he thought. Neither did Luke Altmaier of Illinois. Those guys probably hurt their draft stock. They're probably day 3 picks or UDFAs. In the running back room, the guy that helped his case the most was Mike Washington Jr. That kid ran a 4.33 with a 1.51 split, had a 39-inch vertical, a 10'8" broad jump, and did 24 reps. Power, speed. Oh, we'll pray for you. No problem. Agility, he has all of it. He was one of my guys that I thought would go at the beginning of the day 3, and now he probably moved himself smack dab into the second round. Adam Randall didn't ran as fast as he ran as fast as predicted, but he was the strongest out of the running backs, doing 26 reps. Another guy that ran faster than expected at 6 foot and 198 was Eli Heidenreich of the Navy. And another one that raised his draft stock was Damon Claiborne out of Wake Forest, the 5'10", 190-pound running back that ran a 4.37. Jeremiah Love was as fast as advertised. The guy that wasn't was Jadarian Price. Everybody expected him to run almost as fast as Love, and he actually was more than a tenth a second behind him. Wide receivers, and my guy that helped himself the most was Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati, 6'5", 216-pound wide receiver that ran a 4.31. He looked good and crisp. Deion Burks out of Oklahoma, tiny guy, 5'10", 180 pounds, but did 26 reps at the bench. He didn't run the 40 at all, but he looked crisp in his routes. Berrien Brown looked really good, who is 5'11". He ran a 4.4. Malik Benson out of Oregon, 6 foot and 190, ran a 4.37. Chris Braswell at 6'4" and almost 200 pounds, ran a 4.37. Who was that fast guy? And then Xavion Thomas, the 5'10", 190-pound wide receiver, ran a 4.28. And then Brennan Thompson out of Mississippi State at 5'9" and only 165 pounds, ran a 4.26. So there was this was one of the fastest draft classes. The only one that didn't average the fastest was yeah. Yeah, Riley Nowakowski. I liked how he ran at the combine. He was a tight end. And I'm going to get to that. That's next. I think he helped his draft stock because he looked good in the drills. But Riley Nowakowski ran a 4.66, so he ran I said, as long as he runs faster than a 4.7, because he's 6'2" and 250. He looked good out there. And he had a 10'3" broad jump, which shows that he has power. Almost nobody did the bench out of the tight ends, but a few did in the wide receiver room. 2 of them hit 26. That was Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State, who didn't run, but he did the bench. He also didn't do any of the other things. And Deion Burks, who didn't run the 40, but ran all the drills, had a 1.49 split, 42.5 vertical, and a 10'11" broad jump and hit 26. Offensive lineman, the guy that stole the show, was one Mr. Logan Jones. Logan Jones, Max Ahinakor, Spencer Fanu. Who's the other one that ran that fast? There was 3 of them. And Jager Burton out of Kentucky. And Parker Brailsford of Alabama. All of them did very, very good in their 40 times. They all looked pretty crisp. Pat Coogan had a couple slips here and there. He did not run. Demetrius Crownover, he looked okay, but he looked stiff and didn't have a lot of movement in his hips. Jennings Dunker looked good, but he was on the slow side. He's probably going to translate to guard. Falali Famo out of Wake Forest. He looked good in the drills, but he didn't run. Spencer Fanu, he looked good. He was another 4.91 guy. And Trey Zune, man, you want to talk about a clinic when he did the drills. Him and Logan Jones. Jake Slaughter slipped a little bit, but I think that had to do with being on the turf at Lucas Oil. Because some of those guys, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm talking about who did good right now. I'm trying to stay focused here, guys. Defensive line. The guy that probably helped himself out the most was David Bailey at Texas Tech, who ran a 4.5. Averill Reese also ran that nasty 4.46. Caleb Proctor actually did decent for a big guy, 6'2", 291. He's a tweener who played defensive tackle. He ran a 4.79. The guy that hurt his stock the most, Tim Keenan the third, ran a pitiful 5.31 and a 1.83 split on the 10-yard. Only had a 30-inch vertical and an 8.4 broad jump. Out of all the measurables, him and Lee Hunter, they probably had two of the worst showings. Byron Eason didn't have that good of a showing either, but he's 323 pounds versus being right at that 300 mark. Rashawn Benny didn't run that, but did run the drills. Almost everybody ran the drills. DeMonte Capehart, that 300-pounder ran a 4.85. Jayshon Barham, who looks like he's more than likely an outside linebacker than an edge, unless he's in a 3-4. Caleb Banks had a really good one, and Vincent Anthony looked pretty decent as well. But yeah, so one of the other teams asked or suggested, and I know it's one of the beat writers just being funny, that Fernando Mendoza get arrested so he could drop in the draft. It's kind of hilarious. Then we get to the linebackers, and of course, C.J. Allen didn't work out. Lander Barton didn't work. It didn't do any of the measurables, other than getting weighed up and stuff like that. Wesley Besant of Miami did the same thing. Bruce Boucher, Kendall Daniels didn't run, which disappointed me. I wanted to see him run, but Caleb Elams Orr out of TCU, 6'2", 234, possibly a Sam linebacker, ran a 4.47, which we thought that was great. And then Sonny Styles, boom, a 4.46. And he's 6'5", 244, 10-inch hands, and has that 78-inch wingspan, an 11'2" broad jump, a 1.56 in the 10-yard split, and a 43.5 vertical, a 3-cone of 7.09, and a shuttle of 4.26. This kid was special. Yeah, I started off with the trade, and I admit I got egg on my face. I'm eating crow. He got traded. It's done. But it was 2 picks, a 4th and a 7th rounder, and Scruggs. And it's already reflected on the mock draft boards, too. It's pick 128 and pick 247. So we have 10 picks this draft. There is another linebacker that I thought did pretty good at 6 foot and 223, and that was Justin Jefferson out of Alabama. He looked really good through the drills. Jack Kelly looked good. Red Murdoch didn't run anything. I wanted to see him. He's a thumper. He's more of that supercomputer. Jimmy Rolder. Xavier Story, I think, hurt his draft stock a little bit. He's one of those computer guys, but he ran way slower than expected. Also, Jake Golday out of Cincinnati didn't run that good either. That's fine. Well, no, they actually updated it on PFSN. They gave us a 7th-round pick this year. 247 is what's on the books. Go check it, because I just did a minute ago. I'm going to check it again. Give me just a second, because I checked it before I went live, because I wanted to know what picks we had. And now they upgraded it to 244, but we got an extra 7th-round pick. Did we move somebody else? I'm going to screenshot it so you see it. Because we had 118. I know that for a fact. Let's see. I'm going to pull it in right now. Yeah, 128 and 244. So they upgraded it 3 spots. They didn't give away their 247, they gave away 244. I think he's going to go 2nd round with that speed. I'm getting to the corners next, buddy. Lot to cover when we're talking about what happened with the defensive backs room. I think we still have to draft one. I think we have to draft either Logan Jones, Parker Brailsworth, or Trey Zoom. That's just my opinion. I think that would be the way to go. His lawyer released that he categorically denies being involved in anything, that he wasn't there, he didn't order anything. So there has been no arrest warrant issued out of Hillsborough County, Florida. And I think they're looking to do a defamation of character. Now, defensive backs. We all know who stole the show, but I'm going to talk about a few more that ran really well. Jalen Kilgore ran a flat 4.4. Let's see. Latrell McCutcheon Sr., 6'2", 191, ran a 4.43. Colton Hood out of Tennessee ran a 4.44. Charles Demings out of Steve Nest Austin ran a 4.41. Tacario Davis, a 6'3", 0.7-inch, 195-pound corner, ran a 4.41. Bud Clark ran a 4.41. And then the guy that stole the show, Lorenzo Styles Jr. and Traden Stukes, almost 6'6", 6'5", and only 190, but he ran a 4.33. And Robert Spears Jennings of Oklahoma ran a 4.32. Dylan Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon, 6 foot and 201 pounds, ran a 4.35. You talk about innocent until proven guilty. And the fact that the DA has not issued a warrant, even though he was mentioned, because the people in the court case mentioned Arnold, and the judge mentioned him when they were doing the arraignment. The fact that nothing's been issued means there's no electronic trace back to Arnold so far. So they got to do their due diligence, and they got to put the burden of proof to be able to do it, because they don't issue warrants to anybody who's in the public limelight without having all their ducks in a row. and we haven't heard anything about it yet. So until I hear something about it, I'm going to say it's a non-issue for right now. And the girl that supposedly said she was his girlfriend is not his girlfriend. So that makes it look even worse. So I'm not going to talk about legal issues that are not a legal issue yet. Even though the judge may have mentioned them, the fact that all this came out and his attorney says he's been in contact with the district attorney of Hillsborough County there in Tampa and no warrant has been issued. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jalen Kilgore is the better corner or better safety. Um, and who knows, we may have grabbed all this to move up into the third round. We don't know. Package that 128, package the 244, and another one to move into the third round and just settle on 9 picks instead of 10. That's something we could do, or we're going to trade back. Because, like I said, if all those tackles and the edge prospects that we're interested in, oh yeah, that's the other edge that did good. I want to talk about. Uh, TJ Parker, he had a damn good showing. Ran a 4.68. He's 6'3 and 263. The other one that did really good in the drills but didn't run was Tariq Sapp. He looked clean. The guy that hurt his draft stock the most probably was R. Mason Thomas. He ran awful. And the Dami Tucker, he did not run good either. And Peter Woods didn't run at all, but he's considered a day one pick. Caden Curry, he didn't run. Caden McDonald didn't run. They ran the drills. Tyler Oneidem looked good in the drills. He's another one of those tweener types where he's at that 293 mark. Dominique Orange, he looked okay, but he's kind of heavy set. And another one there I thought hurt his draft stock was LT Overton. That 4.87 he ran was awful. He didn't give up a sack in 377 snaps. So, and he plays guard and center, Juice Scruggs. Yeah, they just traded away their two best interior offensive linemen, Titus Howard, to another team for a 5th rounder, and then Juice Scruggs, a 4th and a 7th to us for Monty. Things may look the same for Monty there with the Texans. And that's not because Monty's bad. It's because that O-line is atrocious. And I'm not saying that works out for us. I hate it. He accidentally grades better than Glasgow. It's a win. But he plays guard and center. I'm not saying he's going to be our starting center. It depends on what we do in the draft. But it's a move that clears $3 million in cap, and he makes the league minimum, so it actually clears $2 million in cap. So now we're going to be down to about $10 million over instead of 12.2, which it went up to over the weekend. It's kind of a win-win, but I hate it because we're forgetting one part of Monty's game that he does better than every other back on our team, and that's pass blocking. Giving Goff that extra half a second. So we got to look for that style of player. I was hoping it was Mike Washington, but he probably moved all the way to the 2nd round. So unless we trade back in the 1st and get a later round pick and either a 2nd or a 3rd behind it, I don't see us getting a guy like Mike Washington. I think he's going to go probably at the back end of the 1st, early 2nd. He ran that good. I think he's the 2nd best running back in this class. Jeremiah Love is the all-rounder. That Jadarian Price is not as good as Mike Washington, in my opinion. Oh, I know. But guys that run like that and pass block are not a dime a dozen. And there's a few in the draft I like. Don't get me wrong. Jonah Washington, he was considered a late first, second round pick. Mike Washington Jr., I just mentioned. Adam Randall out of Clemson. Noah Whittington, and also Chip Trayanum. Yeah, they picked in front of us in the second round. First round, I think if the Saints don't grab Jeremiah Love, the Chiefs will, and they'd be stupid not to because Pacheco can't stay on the field either. And that should be the fear of everyone in the NFL. Jeremiah Love falling to the Chiefs at 9. But yeah, there wasn't very many losers on the cornerback end. This was the fastest defensive back, the fastest wide receiver, the fastest running back, the fastest O line, and the fastest D line class in history. But it was the most wide receivers. It was the one of the most offensive line ones. There was 57 of them listed on there that was at the draft this year. 57 O linemen went to the combine for the draft to test for the draft. Now, most of them only did that. Logan Jones looked great. Parker Brailsworth was slightly more athletic. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't as fast, but he's slightly more athletic than Logan Jones. He had a better broad jump, he had a better vertical, and he had better bench reps. But man, those guys to me, along with Trey Zune, there was another guard in there. The, the one that nobody was talking about from Iowa. He moves so good. Uh, Not Jennings Dunker. Where is he? Not Logan Jones. Bo Stevens. He moves so good. That old line coach. That old line is coached so well for Iowa. He was so smooth through his transitions. So that's somebody that nobody's talking about that you could grab in that day 3 area too. But if people saw what I saw, he'll move up in the draft. Coogan had a little slip in a couple of the side to side drills. And again, playing on turf versus grass, it makes a difference if you don't plant your foot just right. And that's what it looked like. Slaughter did the same thing repeatedly. He had to start the one drill twice uh, because he couldn't get his footing when he slid. He was trying to anticipate. He wasn't quite planted. And he tried to go the other way. And he finally said, "Hey, don't anticipate. Wait till I move, then move, and you'll do better." Because then his weight's on his plant foot. But man, it was an amazing time. A lot of good things happened. Uh, I got egg on my face. I didn't think Monty was going to get traded. Hey, good to see you, Patty. I think it's overall a good trade. It just hurts because after what Demo posted yesterday, more than likely. But it is that time. I haven't seen MDE in the chat. He's probably upset with me because I finally got one wrong. Nostra dumbass was wrong, and I admit it. But it is time for my mock draft, number 60. Yes, I know you go to Arizona all the time. And have a safe travel, praying for your safety. But it is time for mock draft 62. Are we ready? Here we go. I got to clear this. I got to change it to draft results. All right. We got Akeem Messador here. Caleb Lono, third lady. Now, this is post combine. I thought Caden Proctor did pretty good. Monroe Feeling actually did good, and so did Max Ahinacor. And out of those, I would probably take Max Ahinacor or Caden Proctor, though. But Here's the thing about Akeem Messidor. He's 25 years old. He'll be 26 before the season starts. But let's look at these trades first and foremost. We got 27, 58, and a fourth, 34, 65, and 104. I think that's the trade. And then 28 and 59. I think this is the trade right here. You get the first pick in the second, the first pick in the third, and the first pick. I love this trade. I'm making this trade. Not taking that one or that one. All right. Max Ahinacor. There he is. I don't mind this trade, but I don't like the return on investment, and I don't like that one. So, all right. We could get Zion Young, but he didn't test out as well either. Malachi Field, R. Mason Thomas, I'm not into that. So, first, let's go edge. I just want to see what's here. Zion Young, Gabe Jacobs. There we go. All right. I have an attack plan. I think he moves ahead of Connor Lew. Connor Lew did not run. I think Sam Hecht is a good option. Parker Brailsworth is another, but Logan Jones is who I take 99.9% of the time, and I'm sticking with it until then. Yep, I'm not making the trade. I'm going defense, edge. Gabe Jacobs is gone. I'm not taking LT Overton. Devontae Lawson, Aiden Fisher, Keontae Scott. 6 foot and 192. Let me go to defensive backs. Let me see what he ran. He didn't run. Hey, Paul Jones. Let's go safety. Jalen Kilgore is there. Halsey, he didn't really run. Zakee Wheatley didn't run. Kamari Ramsey ran. He ran good. Bud Clark ran great. And Kilgore ran great. If you're giving me these options, I'm taking Kilgore. Defensive tackle, Caleb Dante Corleone's moving up the draft like I predicted he would because he looked really good. We don't need I don't need that. Ooh, Mike Washington is here. There's your thumper with the strength, and he pass blocks. Oh, you're lying. I had to do it. Kilgore. Edge. Courage. Danny Davis Sutton. I think he's going to move up. He had a really good draft. We talked to him too. I like him at 28. Torian Rowe, Kelly. Red Murdoch didn't test, so he's not going to move up. But Traden Stooks. There we go. Big corner. There's the other big corner. And I like him better than Ephesians Prysock, who did not run. But Corleone's gone. Tariq Sapp is there. I think we go back to back here almost. Jack Kelly, he had a good. Wow, they didn't update the RAS yet. I think Red Murdoch is the guy that we could put next to Jack Campbell that'll be good. At 2, I think I'm going to go again. I think I'm going to take the cheetah just for shits and giggles. And now I can go offense. Riley Nikowski. Don't need another one of them. Let's go Jack Strand. And then DJ Campbell at guard. Yep, upgrade for the running back position, but you also traded away. You also traded away Titus Howard. That both of your starting guards. I know Scruggs started at center. He didn't give up a sack last year, so he did decent for you guys. He's an upgrade from Glasgow. Uh, but yeah, I'm surprised he was traded this morning too. I'm not gonna lie, it bugged me he's traded. But let's take a look at this mock draft I just finished. Max Ahinacor, Logan Jones, Mike Washington, Jalen Kilgore, Danny Dennis Sutton, Traden Stoops, Decario Davis, Red Murdoch, Kendall Daniels, Riley Nowakowski, Jack Strand, and DJ Campbell. If that isn't making the most out of your draft with the 10 picks we got, I don't know. I like what I saw out of Danny Dennis Sutton at the draft at the combine too. But Ahinacor Jones and Mike Washington Jr. Wow. Kilgore outdid Deshaun Singleton for me. Tacario Davis, I got him. Traden Stoops, I loved what he did at the combine as well. Oh, he had 377 straight snaps without a sack for you. That's what I saw when I looked at his stats. He said he took 377 snaps last year. And just going by what it said, maybe some of those were on special teams. What do you guys think? Mock draft 62 in the books. He was listed at both, Gaviscon, when I saw it on the PFF when I looked at his snap counts. But yes, Monty's gone. Free agency, the legal tampering period, it starts very soon. In 7 days to be exact. I love the trade back. We got the extra picks we needed. So yes, we got pick 128 and pick 244 and juice drugs for Monty. We got the center of the future there. I mean, I don't always go for big and flashy, but at 65 with Mike Washington Jr. there, you can't pass that up. So I'm wondering what pick did we give up? Because we must have given up a pick too. Not really. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I ended up with 12 picks. Why do you think it's horrible? Why do you think it's horrible? No, I traded back once. I traded 17 back. I got all three of those picks for pick 17. I got 34, 65, and 104, which is the second pick in the second round, second pick in the third round, and the second pick in the fourth round. The rest of them are the picks we already have. I made one trade for 3 picks. Answer me why the trade. I got 34, 65, and 104 for 17. We have too many holes to fill, and this is a way to do it where you don't have to worry about any re-signings for 4 years. Yeah, he gave up pressures, but not sacks. I saw that. Uh, I value center more than anything right now. Red Murdoch is a computer type of linebacker, like Jack Campbell. He's not as fast, but he does well because he's twitchy. Kendall Daniels is another linebacker that I love because I watched his game film. Former safety. He knows how to cover. And he didn't run. So his draft value won't go up or down till his pro day. And it wasn't due to injury. He just didn't feel like being there at the combine. Probably because it's on turf. But there's our extra picks, 128 and 244. As you see, I didn't trade back again. I traded one time. Let me see something. Go to round 1. Anthony Hill went to the Bucks in this mock draft. Just to let you know. I just think a guy like Mike Washington, who had 26 reps, good vertical, fast 40 time, strong as an ox, does not go down at first contact, is a north and south runner that has enough twitch to get past people. I thought it was a no-brainer to take him. Riley Nowakowski, we need a tight end too. It looks like Sam Laporta will be back for training camp. Averill Reese and Sonny Styles went in the first 10, as expected. Takario Davis and Traden Stukes. I love both these kids in this draft. Tall, long, fast corners that know how to cover. We have to replace somebody that can block in the backfield too. Gibbs can't block as good as Monty did. Jalen Kilgore, he's not a starter. He'll be a starter on this roster right now because we don't know when Kirby's coming back. We do know approximately when Branch is coming back, and it won't be till the end of October to mid-November. Let's be real here. We need the help. We're going to have to sign a safety too, and I hope we sign Iffy. I think it would be smart to sign Iffy. to cover until Branch gets back. But Jalen Kilgore is one hell of a safety. And I got 2 corners in this draft. I don't know why you don't think I didn't get good players. Both these guys he ran a 4.3 and he ran wow. The guy I don't trust is short Toriano Pride, who ran fast as hell, but Traden Stukes ran a 4.33 at almost 6'6". And you mentioned this kid. Takario Davis, who was almost 6'4". You don't think Kilgore is a good player? You didn't watch him this combine? Max, Logan, Mike Washington, Kilgore, Stukes, and Davis? Oh, Kilgore is amazing. You better go watch his film. And Kendall Daniels is a sleepy good pick because he could also play safety, but he's 6'5" and 242. He'll probably stay at linebacker. But thank you for watching, everybody. Tune in tomorrow, where I'm going to pay attention to one of my draft profiles that I've written. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. And yes, I'm eating crow. I got egg on my face because I believed in Monty and what he said, that he wasn't going to be traded. It is what it is. Have a great day, everybody. And don't forget, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.